Family. Shalom family. All praise. I don't have no family in here just now. All praise to the Most High. Alright, we're going to do a little class today. We'll try to be short.
It's to New York.
Yeah, just to New York, so. Cap don't like the name of the class, but
you didn't come on with another?
Nah, I ain't coming up. So this is the name I came up with. How close are we to being the same? You gotta put some question marks on like that.
Yeah, repeat those.
How close are we to being the same? It's a question mark. It's a question that I pose to everyone in here. Brothers and sisters. But specifically sisters. How close are we to being the same? Because sometimes we forget. We forget, that we the same. So let's just do a recap. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old.
So the scripture starts off with what?
Remember the days of old.
The reason why God tells us to remember, we're going to forget. It's coming upon a time where the Israelites are just going to forget everything and lose their God-given mind. Read it again.
Remember the days of old.
So we should remember the days of old. Who can give an example of the days of old? Brothers? Anybody? Yeah, give me an example. What should be remembered in the days of old?
Passover.
Passover, that's good. That's good. What else?
Purim.
That's good. What else? Let's bring that to this time. Read that scripture again, officer.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old.
Let's bring that to 2018. 18, right? 2018. Esau time. 2018. How could we remember the days of old? What should we be remembering? Brother right here, Tito. Stand up.
Our traditions and beliefs.
Speak it to the mic.
Our tradition and beliefs.
Absolutely. Our traditions, our heritage. Yeah, turn that mic up.
Yeah, turn them up. You gotta speak like a kid.
Well, what else though? Nariah Zeb.
Our unity.
Our unity. Huh? Say that again?
Our unity of being one people.
That one look good.
It's that fro, man.
It's the fro?
Yeah.
That one look good.
Give me power.
That brother is good. All praises. Read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7.
Come on.
Remember the days of old.
Remember the days of old. We don't.
Consider the years of many generations.
Remember the days of old. Remember the days of old. What happened in 1619? What happened in 1492? Tabor? What happened to us?
We were taken captives.
We were taken captives. What else?
We were enslaved.
We were slaves. So what happened to us though?
We were destroyed.
We were destroyed. How were we destroyed?
We lost our heritage. We had to serve another God.
Stop, never mind. How was we destroyed? Man, we gotta remember these things. Because we tend to forget.
We became separated as a nation.
We became separated. How? I want some specifics.
We specifically through like Willie Lynch. He separated the man from the woman.
Okay.
He separated the brother from the sister. He separated the dark from the light.
Right.
He separated them from east from direction.
East to west.
East to west.
Okay.
Also,
don't give it all. I want to hear what you got to say. Philip.
Yeah, the thing that separated us was our sin.
Sin, right? Absolutely right. So let's read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old.
Remember the days of old. Read on.
Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will shew thee.
Read.
Thine elders, and they will tell thee.
Romans 15 and 4. So it said, ask thy fathers, and he will show thee. Ask thy elders, and he will tell thee. He will show thee. Because we tend to forget. Now that we know we Israel, We come in these doors, and at first, we all knew, okay, the curses. We was hung on trees. We were sold on slave ships. Our names were changed. But once we come in the door and we get comfortable, we tend to forget that. We tend to forget that the same man that lynched you, lynched me. The same man that took your baby away, took my baby away. And now, once we get inside and we forget who we really are, because people say, I remember who I am, but actually you really forget. People, sisters and brothers come in here and actually forget, still, who they are. Romans 15:4.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
What was written aforetime, brothers? What was written aforetime? Somebody raise your hand. Right in the back. Right there. What's your name again, brother? No, not you. Yep. Nixon. Okay. What was written aforetime?
Our past history.
Our past history. Absolutely. Absolutely. Read it again, officer.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
It says that we. What is Paul saying? That we. Sarah, who's that? Who said that? That was you, Zion? Who's Zion at? Thought I seen that, brother. I don't know. Oh, go ahead, brother. What does that mean, that we? Israelites. Give me a better explanation. We. Yeah. Look at the definition of we, please. Hey, it's a 2-letter word, but it's very heavy.
Yeah.
Very heavy.
Just like it.
Just like if, right? If. You never see Hercules say if. If it's good. We. Come on, officer.
We, used by a speaker to refer to himself.
Hold on. Blow it up. Don't do that. Yeah, there we go. Right there.
We, used by a speaker to refer to himself or herself and one or more other people considered together.
Togetherness, fellowship. Say that again.
Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
That our learning, that us, meaning all 12 tribes, all unified people, read,
through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Might have hope. Hope for what? What is the hope that we might have, brothers? Don't call out. Right here. What's your name again? Joshua, right? Oh, praises. I remember that, brother.
Getting better.
Joshua, all praises.
Salvation.
Absolutely. Salvation. Redemption. The kingdom. But it says we. It don't say just men. It don't say just sisters. It don't say just Judah.
Right.
It don't say just Ephraim. It says we. Huh?
You didn't say you guys.
It don't say just Levi. These are all praises. But real talk, it says we. Job 8 and 8. Job 8 and 8.
Northern Kingdom vexing Southern Kingdom.
No. I said we. That's we.
Yeah, we
Say no Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom.
you just vexing.
And that's what we get caught up with, though. Real talk. We get caught up with that sometimes. Especially sisters. Let me tell you straight, sisters. Northern Kingdom only talk to Northern Kingdom. Southern Kingdom only deal with Southern Kingdom. Not understanding that you still in that Willie Lynch syndrome. And we gonna touch that. Come on.
Job chapter 8 and verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
What does that mean, brothers? Can somebody explain that to me? Besides the doc. Oh, here we go. What does that mean, bro? What does it mean to prepare thyself for the search of your fathers? What's your name?
David.
David. What does that mean, brother David?
Research. I want to say research or history or.
You're not wrong. Keep going. You're not wrong. Let's take that. Research your history. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. You gotta research your history. How you think we all in here, I'm gonna ask you a question. How you think all of us in the same room at the same time? So Doc, what brings us together, the Doc?
Because we all research our history.
And what else?
And and compared it to the Bible. And we all realized we're all one people.
Oh, wait a minute. So we all the same people based off of what?
Based off the history.
Based off of history. But the thing is, we come in here, we sit down, and we forget. We forget that we was out there in the world. We forget that we come in here, we sit down, and we say we Israelites, but we forget our history. What makes us brothers and sisters? We forget that thing. Deuteronomy 20:45. So we're going to go back to the basics. We're going to go back to the basics, because maybe y'all forgot. So let's go back to the basics. Because as y'all can see today, the curses is still going on.
Yeah.
As we can see.
Some of them might not know. They weren't here.
Okay, you want me to just let it go. All right, Deuteronomy 20:45.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 45.
Come on.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
So God says these curses shall come upon the Israelites and pursue thee. What does pursue mean? Amosa. What does pursue mean?
Shalom.
Shalom, bro.
To follow.
To follow, to chase. That means yes, we was trying to run away. We still trying to run away from the curses. Even though we're in the building, even though we know we Israel, we still running away. But God said the curses was going to chase you. To be a what? A reminder. Read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Till thou be destroyed. Read on.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Read on.
To keep his commandments.
To keep his commandments. The reason why we cursed today is because we didn't keep God's commandments. And you read that with Jeremiah 16, we still don't keep his commandments to this day.
Worse.
And worse. We are worse than our fathers were. At least our fathers, we understood, okay, the only way we can get out of this, we got to come together. Today, oh man, we think we are in the kingdom. We don't.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments, and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Read on.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
They shall be upon us for a sign, brothers. Who know that? Who knows the answer to that? Abraham. What shall be upon the children of Israel for a sign?
The curses.
The curses. The sign for what?
To let us know who we are.
To let us know who we are. Absolutely. Everybody in here, everybody had the sound of my voice, even the little babies, can witness to these curses. Read on.
And for a wonder.
And for a wonder. We always, how come this is happening to us? How come I just can't never get ahead?
And let me just, break it down too about, because you think about like, I'm all right, and I said, if you are in the land that is not yours, you're under the curses. It don't matter if you was transported from the west coast of Africa and landed over here in America, and you live in Beverly Hills, and you are a daggone rocket scientist, physiologist.
Right.
You still under the curses because you have been taken from a land, from your homeland, which is Jerusalem, and brought to a land that's not yours, and you are stuck there. You can't go back to where you come from at all. If we was Africans, everybody on the West Coast, well, if they got the power of it too, but if they knew they was Israel for real, they would have came over and got us. They don't even know they Israel yet. And the ones that know they straight up Africans know we ain't their people, so they ain't sitting no ships either to say, hey, let my people come back.
Right.
You under the curses. If you gotta wake up and punch in your clock to people that don't look like you, you under the curses.
Real.
Because God says as a people, everybody's supposed to serve us, but then you got to wake up and go serve them. You under the curses. Just to break it down to that level, because some of us think because we got good jobs that we punch in with the white man, that we okay and we exempt from this, but you not. You serve the same white man, just might be a different degree of it that we all do. Go ahead.
Hey, get Psalms 49, you know what I want? Hey, where's Shimon? All praise, bro. You're in the spirit for this scripture. Psalms 49. Read that.
Psalms chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations.
Read on.
They call their lands after their own name.
Who's it talking about, brothers? Abraham. Don't call it out. I know y'all want to say Esau so bad.
It's talking about Esau.
Talking about Esau, right? All right, read that scripture again.
Psalms chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations.
Their dwelling places, read.
They call their land.
They call their land
after
their land, their houses, their dwelling places, read.
After their own names.
Another word for land in the context of that scripture is what, brothers? Their houses, their dwelling places, their lands. That's right.
Hey, Shalom.
Country?
No. Neil.
It's possessive.
Right, it's possessive.
Their kingdoms.
No. Eliab. Remember, they're called their houses, their dwelling places, their land by their name.
Their property.
Property. They call their property by their names.
Right.
What's your last name? Hey, that brother Shim bang. What's your last name? Oh, you want to say Israel?
Right.
Pull out that ID.
Pull out your ID, brother. You understand? We are still property of Esau. Hold on. Read that again. And we forget that.
Right.
We forget. We think I'm better than you. No, sister. No, brother. We both under the curses at the same time.
Yep.
Read that again.
Psalms 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their land,
Call their property
after their own name.
after their own names. Every last person that comes through these doors that don't know the Israel is the property of Esau. So we got all these similarities, but yet once we come in here, we get comfortable. We just don't seem to get along. We just like, you know what? It's nothing me and you got in common. What? Have you read the Bible?
Right.
It's nothing. Me and that sister just don't get along. Sister, you got the devil on you.
And that's what they conditioned them to
That's what they
say.
conditioned.
Yeah.
That's what they conditioned. Go back to Deuteronomy 28 and read verse 47. I said we're going to go back to the basics. Because we forget, man. We come in here and we want to learn the deep stuff. But not even knowing how to break down Deuteronomy 28. Not knowing that Deuteronomy 28 still goes on even in these purple chairs.
Yep.
What you guys have done?
I was going to say, if you look up the definition of the word property, you have definition 2. Something owned or possessed, specifically a piece of real estate.
A piece of land. We are real estate. And we're going to go over that too. All this, I want y'all to take these notes, man. Just pay attention. How close are we to being the same? I want y'all to ask yourself that. I want you to, you know how to down there, but I ain't going to go down. I'm going to tell my, look left, look to your neighbor.
Nah, hell no.
All praise to the Lord's out. No, but you got to ask yourself, how close are we to being the same? Go to, what is that, 47?
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
So we got to analyze that right there. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness. Joyfulness. Can we look that word up, please? Some of y'all hate coming to the Sabbath. Some of y'all hate sitting next to the people next to you. Some of y'all don't even want to say shalom. Don't even want to, hey, shalom, bro. Shalom, sister. Some of y'all don't want to do that thing. Read that.
Joyful, experiencing, causing, or showing joy.
Read that. Happy. Why can't we be happy? That's a word that many of blacks and Hispanics don't even use. When's the last time y'all used the word happy? Think about it. When's the last time you said the word happy? It's not in our vocabulary. You trying to think? I'm telling you, it's not in our vocabulary.
Only when they're sinning.
Only when
on their earth day.
On their earth day. Happy. Y'all don't even use that term anymore. I'm so happy to see you today, sister. I'm so happy to see you today, brother.
Right.
We don't even use that term anymore because the word happy, for some reason, just doesn't correlate with being an Israelite. That's why when people see Israelites, what they say? What's the one word that they think of us when they see us? Huh? Oh yeah, that's right. We got that long name. Lahabia. So what's the word they use when they see us?
Mean.
What? Give me one good one.
Mad.
Angry.
Yeah,
that's
angry.
the word. That's the word they use. Angry black Israelites. Black Hebrew Israelites. Always angry. They always yelling all the time. Always trying to get us to stop sinning.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger.
Are we not serving our enemies? Are we not serving our enemies in hunger, brothers and sisters? Y'all let me know, man, because maybe I'm seeing something that y'all don't. I don't know.
Give me an example then. Because half y'all didn't know.
Yeah, you see that?
Half y'all can't contemplate that. Me a slave? No, nigga, ain't no slave. Yeah, y'all.
On most of our jobs, we got a cafeteria. So you gotta come down, eat the food they give you, and then go straight back up to work.
And you go straight to you pay for that food. Hold on, they paying you to pay them for the food.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Dang.
Hi, up front. Let's see what
They teach us false information about our history in school.
Right, and you ain't got no choice but to learn it. You can't say this is wrong. Christopher Columbus did not discover America. Send him to the principal's office. Send him to the principal's office.
You know the word they're gonna use? What's the word they use? Insubordination. Referral. Insubordination. Red.
Just going back to jobs, you know, when a lot of times we think that we got freedom here because they give you a choice to pick what they set up for you to choose.
Right.
That's not freedom at all. That's not freedom, y'all. Okay, well, our schedule is from 9 to 5 on first shift. Second shift is 3 to 11. Third shift is from 10 to 6 in the morning. Which one of those do you want to choose to come to work for us to make us more money? You can't. Hey. No. I need a break in between that 9 and 5 so I can go home and take a nap. And my kids get out of school at this time, so I'm gonna leave at 3 and then I'll come back.
And that's not even guaranteed. They can switch that thing up on you.
And that's switch it up on you.
Once you get out of training, oh no, we need you to work this shift now.
Yep. Right. That's servitude. Go ahead.
All praise. We're not. Hey, you in the spirit. We don't.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 48. Therefore shall thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
From the juice we drink to the water, everything that we can think of, soda, pop. Hell, even the liquor we drank, it comes from our enemies. We don't.
And in nakedness.
Our clothes on our back. Read.
And in want of all things.
Somebody give me an example of want of all things. All right, what you got?
A birth certificate.
A birth certificate. The moment you are born, you become your enemies. Ezekiel, what you got?
A driver's license.
A driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, you get pulled over and see what happens. You done. You can't even get 80% of a job without a driver's license. What you got, brother in the bike? What's your name? I forget your name.
Who? Benjamin?
Benjamin, all press.
Passport.
A passport. You can't go out and prophesy and be an international prophet without permission from your enemies.
Captain Joshua dropped this on me. You know the word, because we're in Sunrise. Over here you gotta have a permit for everything. What is that the root word of somebody, let's see, Abraham, enlighten us. Permission.
Right.
Servitude. If you want to put up walls, you got to get the okay from us in this city.
Massa.
Cause this ain't your place. This ain't you just what you call that? What's that word? No, what's the word we got? Denizen. You're a visitor here is what they tell. Jakim, what you got?
Speaking of permits, you gotta pay them to ask for it.
Let's move on, because I'm getting vexed here. Let's move on.
Hey. I tell you, man, we in here. We don't think about these things. We don't think that we are linked from the same cloth. We come in here, we sit down, we forget. We forget that these curses is still on us. Tobias, what you got? Officer Tobias. Mike, give him a mic.
Yeah, something as simple as how loud we can talk. Because when we talk loud, people say, "Oh, y'all speaking too loud." Who did you get the proper octave to speak from?
Right.
Esau says you're supposed to speak like this. We can't even talk as loud as we want to because Esau said we can't.
Hey, that's crazy, man. You can't even be a man.
Right.
You can't even be a real Israelite man. What you got, Tito?
First off, also, Shabbat Shalom and thank you for letting me.
Shalom, brother. All praises.
Bring the mic up. But shaving, a lot of the times with jobs, we have to keep it trim, clean, neat, and all that kind of stuff. Or just
absolutely
stuff.
right. In the want of all things, man. In the want of all things. What you got, Sirach?
Work.
Can he work?
Yeah, I was gonna say we pay taxes on stuff we don't own.
Pay Hey, man. Speaking of taxes. Man. All praise to the Most High for this truth. I forgot your Hebrew name, brother.
Oh, Basaias.
It's Brother Basaya.
Basaya.
Yeah, the medicine that they claim will get you better, you have to pay.
You gotta pay for it. Insurance. Hell, if you wanna, excuse me, if you want a funeral, you gotta pay for it. You gotta get a license to be buried.
Right.
The example I use all the time, if they decided to go on strike and boycott Negroes and Hispanics from toilet paper, y'all done. You done.
Nah, bro. Well,
Don't sell no more black and Hispanics, no more toilet paper, no more toothpaste, no more deodorant. What you gonna do?
Hey, Cap.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to Walmart and I'm gonna buy every book on the shelf.
Hey, that eventually run out too, man.
Hey, I'm gonna buy every book on the shelf. All right.
That's in the want of all things.
Baby wipes. Hey, the most I made trees, leaves. Hey,
They'll make a law against that.
Hey,
No picking leaves to wipe your ass. They'll make a law against that.
Damn, you're right too. We'll have to be waiting till 3 o'clock in the morning. Right. We don't.
And in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
I want somebody in here to raise their hand if their forefathers never went through that. Oh, damn, anybody here raised?
Another sister raised her hand.
So that's to tell you something. We all experience the same exact atrocities, which makes us the same people. We're the same people. We don't. And here, with a yoke of iron on our necks, read.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Now there's the part. There's the part we got to touch on. Until he have destroyed thee. Well, Tabor, I see you got your hand raised before I even ask the question. All praises. What about the ask, Tabor?
What are some ways you've been?
Ooh, that's really good. What's the one you've been destroyed, Tabor?
We are 5 brothers, and they all say, like, as far as for the nationality, they're giving different answers for the nationality.
Absolutely. You can pick 5 brothers, and they all will give 5 different nationalities. It's a dog. Let me know you was destroyed.
Another way we've been destroyed, we have now become a lawless people. We do whatever the hell we want.
We do whatever we want to do. Whatever we want. Let me call somebody who ain't. You're right. Name a way we've been destroyed as a people.
We've been destroyed as a people to a mental state that we trying to convince white people that we're men.
Dang, that's a good one right there. We trying to convince dogs, because God calls them dogs. Let me tell you straight. God calls them dogs in the Bible. We trying to convince dogs that we are men.
Dang, that's destroyed.
That's destroyed right there. Right there, we fought for civil rights. We trying to convince a lesser nation that we are just like them.
God calls dogs.
God call them dogs, but we fight to be like them. We are fighting to be dogs. When God says we are chosen.
Bring it out.
Goodness gracious. Abraham.
You in a situation where you need help, instead of looking at the person that looks like you and going through the same thing with you,
bring it out.
You gonna go to the other
Bring it out. Say that again. Hey, that brother hit it right.
And I wanna now look at it. We don't supply everything that we need as a nation.
Bring it out.
But it's a few things. You can go on judamac.com and you can, it's a few things that you can get from one another. But we don't even want to wait on the shipping to come in. We just want to go to Walmart.
Yeah, Kev, we got sisters that sell soap.
Yeah.
We don't have to go to Walmart. Get it from them. Answer page, right?
Hey man, say what you just said again, bro.
Say it again.
Cause that was real smooth.
So you in a situation where you need some help, instead of trying to get help from the people that look just like you or been through the same things with you, you go to the other nations and beg for them.
That's heavy, bro. That is heavy. Dang!
Destroyed.
That's destroyed, man. And bringing it to today's class, like I said, it's for everybody. It's for everybody, huh? Go ahead, Cap.
No. We have it later.
Okay, oh please. Oh dog, yeah, we deal with that after. So bringing it to today's class, we talking about brothers and sisters, but mainly I want to touch sisters, man. Because a lot of y'all don't think that y'all the same. Y'all don't see it.
Sisters Day.
Y'all don't see it, huh?
It's Sisters Day.
Yeah, this Sisters Day. This is Sisters Day.
Hey, for those of you that still got that Christianity mindset, today's Sisters Day.
Today's Sisters Day. Today is the Sisters Day. Here we go.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Give me Daniel 9:11. Sisters Day in the truth. I'm tell you, man, because we come in here, man, we forget, man. Go ahead, Cat.
No, I just gonna say sisters don't never wanted to be Sisters Day in the truth.
Oh.
But when they was in Christianity, they couldn't relate for us.
Every day. It's the First Lady. First Lady's supposed to teach today. All the sisters came to church.
Early, too.
Early. Sit right in the front row. The biggest hats. Come on, brother. Read. Daniel 9:11.
Daniel chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
Who?
All Israel have transgressed thy law.
Just in case, like Cap brought out, just in case you don't think you in captivity. Just in case you don't think you curse. God says all Israel. From southern kingdom to northern kingdom, we all will transgress God's laws. We don't.
Even by the party, that they might not obey thy voice.
We don't.
Therefore, the curse is poured upon us.
God says, therefore, because of us transgressing His laws, the curse is poured upon us. We don't.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses.
Where's the oath at, brothers? Zadok?
It's written in Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28.
Absolutely. Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Genesis. It's written everywhere. Joel. It's written everywhere, man. The Most High had to keep reminding us, y'all keep sinning. I'm gonna curse y'all. Y'all keep doing this. I'm gonna do this. It's just like a father and a son, or a mother and a son and a daughter. All right, now you keep doing that. Keep doing that. I'm gonna tear that butt up.
And the Most High said it. Oh,
that means it was a promise.
Right.
This will happen to you.
Right.
We don't.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God.
Give me Deuteronomy 28:32. Deuteronomy 28. I love Deuteronomy 28. It's a reminder for me. Should be a reminder for everybody here. Verse 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Read that again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Somebody spread that. Ezekiel, spread that.
In slavery, if you had a son or a daughter?
Oh. Let me ask you something. Who had the sons and daughters?
Israel.
No. Who had the sons and daughters? Who had them? Who had them?
They belonged to the white.
Who had them?
Israel.
No. Taking it to another level, brother. The dog. Who had them? Who had the sons and the daughters?
The sisters.
The women! The women had the sons and the daughters. Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Now this is talking about brothers and sisters. Don't get it twisted. But the sisters gave birth to the sons and to the daughters that were ultimately what? Taken.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
This happened to us in slavery. 1619, 1492. This happened to the Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Naphtali, Zebulun, Asher. Y'all know. This happened to everybody. Read on.
And thine eyes shall look and fell with longing for them all the day long.
We had no power in our might. We had no might, no power in our hand to do anything. No economical might, no military might. So let me ask you something. Do we have might today? Right here. What's your name again, brother? I forget. Philip. Sorry. Do we have might today?
No, we don't have any military might, but we do have the Bible.
We got the Bible. We got the Bible. But I'm going to tell you something, Philip. You get your son taken away, and you go to a court with this Bible, see what happens. You go to court, you try to read this Bible and see if anything happens. You do that. We ain't got no might. Even in 2018, we don't have no might. What you got, Eliab?
Even today we don't have no might. They still can take our children.
They're still taking our children. Left and right. Left and right. When I was young, You know, my mama used to go to work overnight, and she used to leave us home. That was a normal thing. Hey, y'all take care, you know, be in the house by this time, dinner on the stove, then I go out, the door better be locked at 8:30. We don't listen, but the door better be locked at 8:30. Now, you leave your kids home today. Woo! Your kids gonna be gone when you get home. And you ain't gonna get them back. We still curse today, man. So, let me get, oh, here we go. I got, read verse 32 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So, the sisters was responsible for birthing the kids, right? You know, men gave birth to kids. Women gave birth to kids. You know.
And thine eyes shall look, and farewell longing for them all the day long.
So, this curse is talking about fathers losing their kids and sisters losing their kids. But ultimately, it was the sisters. Because they would give birth, and the master or whatever, they would take the kids and sell them on auction blocks. What you got? They would sell them on auction blocks, destruction of the Indies. Yeah. They would sell them on auction blocks. The reason why I want y'all sisters, specifically sisters, to evaluate yourselves. I set an example to Officer Lynn, Officer Rod. If you got two white women, they both was raped. Right? So you better throw me off. They both was raped. They in a room together. And they say, oh, you know, Becky, I was raped by You know what? Give me another Jennifer. Yeah. I was raped by You know, the two white women would come together and fight together against the rapers. They will come together, and they'll do, they'll form an organization for women that have been raped. They will come together. For some reason, our Israelite sisters, we done been raped, we done been murdered, we done been robbed, we done been experimented on, like we're gonna bring out. We done been everything in the book. But for some reason, we will not come together and fight as one. We won't do it. I don't understand that. We all face the same curses. Sister, you been molested? I was molested when I was a kid too. Your kids taken away? My kids taken away too. You been sexually harassed in your job? Me too. So why don't we come together and fight?
I'll tell you one reason. It's because the old man in us is still alive and well.
It's still there.
You know, what we'll do is we'll pull out scriptures like Philippians 2 and 12. Work out thy own soul salvation. Goodbye. And turn your back on your sister. And bypass all the scriptures about unity. Help one another, restore each other. Oh yeah, Philippians 2 and 12. You got to work out your own soul salvation. She shouldn't have been doing that to her kids. Don't want to help so it don't happen again. You lean on those scriptures where that old man can still be alive and well today and use God to try to justify the evil.
Right, absolutely. And like, you know, bringing it to today, even in the certain tribes, like Northern Kingdom. Northern Kingdom only deal with Northern Kingdom. Southern Kingdom only deal with Southern Kingdom. Oh, you know what? They'll deal with each other, but this sister, I'm Ephraim, she's Manasseh. We just bond better. We just connect better than what I do with Benjamin. I know I'm Levi, she's Levi, or she's Benjamin. I mean, it's just something, I don't know what it is, but we connect better. Sister, that's the devil. That's the devil. That's the damn devil. And you making provisions for the flesh.
And you know why it is? Because God in Leviticus 19, even when Christ walked the earth, he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. He did not say, love Benjamin as you love Benjamin.
Right.
Love Levi as you love Levi. He didn't say that. He said, love thy neighbor, and your neighbor are the Israelites.
That's right.
It ain't one specific people or tribe or person, it's everybody. He said all relationships won't be the same. But there's no way that we shouldn't band together
That's
and help each other.
That's the thing.
Especially when you got all odds against us. Yeah, right now, when y'all come back next Sabbath, I'm gonna let y'all know this place won't look the same. Because your enemy, they enemy too, the person next to you enemy, he said, you gotta change all of this. And I'll tell you when you can put it back up. Or you can pay me $5,000-$6,000 and then I'm gonna come walk around and then I'll let you know when it's good enough you can leave it up. And guess what? It ain't nothing that we can do about it either. Because we serve our enemy in the want of all things.
Shall pursue thee. Go ahead. Hey man, that's right. We got some evaluating to do, man. Where I'm at?
28, 32.
Give me the video. What you got? Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna touch that. Give me destruction. I'm sorry. Sexual exploitation of black women. I sent it to you, Jay's girl.
On the Sabbath thing?
No, I sent it all to you. Sexual exploitation of black women. I want y'all to look at these videos. Just ask yourself, is my sister going through this too? Whew. Sexual exploitation of black women. Get me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46 again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46.
Come on.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
You know.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed you.
Verse 47. I mean verse 48. I'm sorry, 49. Sorry, go ahead.
Verse Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle flieth. Talking about the so-called white man. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
All right, let's go. Give me no mas. No mas bebes. No mas bebes.
Acá tenían camas todavía. Mira. Y yo por dentro sí siento mucho tristeza.
Pues usted
Recordar
no enseña lo que siente.
¿cómo
¿Y
se
por qué
explica?
sientes tristeza al volver?
Pues, ¿sabe?
Mira,
Pero tengo tristeza.
Sí.
This baby boy became a citizen 1 minute ago. His mother does not have immigration papers.
We're told they should be sterilized to save taxpayers' welfare.
Something drastic must be done about population growth.
The doctor walked in and said, "We cut your tubes." And I said, "Why?" He goes, "Well, you signed for it." I said, "Me?" I go, "I don't remember nothing." And I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell anybody.
They were extremely fearful, being told that you need an emergency cesarean section. You can feel blood pouring down your leg. At that time, signing the consent for tubal ligation.
This is the emergency department at Los Angeles County USC Medical Center.
Some of them signed right in the midst of labor. Some of them don't even remember signing. Here I is, this young lawyer, and for the first time telling them, "Do you know that you've been sterilized?"
We are suing HEW for non-compliance or non-enforcement of the sterilization regulations.
It was just the beginning of the emergence of the civil rights movement in the Latino community. We were talking about abortion rights, all of the issues of feminism at that time. The idea that somebody could be forcibly sterilized seemed like something out of a mental institution out of the 1920s.
It's a claim that we're part of a greater goal of sterilizing the Mexican population that immigrates to Los Angeles. I mean, I'm offended by that. That's not what we did.
The way I felt when I was young, it doesn't change the way I feel in my heart now that I'm older. But it's there all the time. It's like when you bury somebody, you're always going to carry it on your head.
That's it. Go to the gynecology massacre. Everybody in here, I'm pretty almost as unless they not a bitch. They've been to a gynecologist before. What do you pause it? If y'all don't know, the study of gynecology came about through the experiment of y'all.
Right.
They experimented on y'all. That's how, right? No anesthesia. Know why they said? Because they said the black woman cannot feel pain. The Hispanic woman cannot feel pain. That's why gynecology is so, what's what I'm looking for? It's so, no, I'm not looking for that. Advanced. It's so advanced today through the study of y'all. Go ahead, play that.
Then there was J. Marion Sims. I won't spend a lot of time with him. He's another figure. You can Google him. There's a statue, actually, of him in Central Park. And J. Marion Sims was an individual credited. He was a father of modern gynecology. How many women in here know what a vaginal speculum is? And for those men in the room that we lost, a vaginal speculum is a device designed to open up the vagina. It was considered one of the most important advancements in medicine that was made. He was credited as being the wealthiest wealthiest physician to have ever lived. And what's interesting about him, look at the medals pinned on him. I was just very curious about how it was they regarded this man, because no one ever really looked at how did he come up with that vaginal speculum. The way he did it was he actually worked on unanesthetized, did experiments on unanesthetized slave women. He created a makeshift hospital in his backyard in the mid-1800s. He built the first vaginal speculum from a pewter spoon. And he reasoned that slave women were able to bear great pain, meaning we don't need any anesthesia, because their race made them more durable, and thus they were well suited for painful medical experimentation. We didn't even, because we didn't feel like other women could feel. This man would cut into women, cut into them, and just said, well, since they're black, they don't really feel it. Unbelievable. And more importantly is what he did to infants. Because not only did he experiment on women, he also experimented on infants. He said that black infants suffered from something he called trimus nascentium, which is now commonly referred to as neonatal tetanus. Neonatal tetanus originates in horse manure, which was the likely cause of the disease in slave infants. He attributed it to the indecency and intellectual flaws of slave infants, together with skull malformations at birth. That is a shoemaker's awl. And that's an 1800s shoemaker's awl. He would stick that into the heads of brand new infants in an effort to realign their skulls based on the indecency and intellectual flaws of their parents, to treat the malady. Of course, it was 100% death rate. But that's what he would stick in the head of a baby at birth. Things that are so horrific.
That's it. It's more than that. It's more than that. If y'all, I got a book here. It's called Medical Apartheid. It goes over what she's talking about. Oh God, man, I just pray y'all sisters, get it, man. We all want people. We all want people. So I mean, if one hurt, we all hurt. If one of us in anguish and distress, somebody should be glad to come to their rescue. Go ahead, read that.
Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel, and the children of Judah,
talking about northern kingdom and southern kingdom,
were oppressed together.
Everybody in here is oppressed together. So that means everybody in here, specifically this side, should come together and fight together. Because all the other nations, they come together, they fight. You best believe that. The Arab woman, she get more Arab women, they fight. The white woman, she get more white women than she fight. But it's just something about us. We've been doing it, you know what they say? I've been like this for so long. I'm so used to being on my own, by myself. That's the old man. Give me Willie Lynch, page 7. Willie Lynch said, for 1,000+ years, his method would work unless a phenomenon occurred. Y'all see the way the Willie Lynch letter? I hope so. Huh?
They ain't got the book.
Well, I mean, y'all haven't heard of it? Y'all haven't read it? Okay.
Print it out.
Come on, read.
The Willie Lynch letter, page 7.
The making of a slave.
Yeah, the making of a slave. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. These methods have worked on my modest plantation.
Stop. Willie Lynch, the damn devil who started his destruction in the West Indies, came to Virginia because there were slaves that were revolted in Virginia. And by the way, y'all don't know Lynch came from Willie Lynch. He came up with a perfect method on how to control slaves. It said, what it say? It says, I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. Distrust and envy to control the Israelites. I want y'all to really pay attention to this. Go ahead. For control. This is going on today.
Right.
Even inside this building. Go ahead.
These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies.
They worked against Benjamin.
Zoom out. Zoom out.
They worked against Benjamin. They all worked against Judah.
Right.
Go ahead.
And it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age. But it is there only because it starts with an A.
Mm-hmm.
The second is color.
The second is what?
Color.
Oh, wait a minute. The second is color. He took the difference. He put on second top the different of shades.
Well, you just get the first point he said. He said, take this simple.
Simple, right. So it's simple. It's little.
It's very minor. It's minute. It really don't mean nothing.
But he blew it up.
But it's been magnified, and then we still magnify that thing today.
Still on today.
And it's very simple. It means nothing. Esau don't give a rat's A-double-S. If you high yellow, if you brown skin, if you light skin, if you dark skin, you all niggas that he'll experiment on.
Oh, right. Exactly.
But we will sit and think, oh,
I'm lighter, so you know.
Because Esau treats you better out there. Bring it in here.
You know, spirit like that.
Use it against your own people.
Absolutely.
Simple little list.
Yep. That's so true, because a lot of sisters won't hang around each other because they look light skin, they look dark skin, or they a little older. I don't hang around. If I'm 21, I'm gonna hang around 21-year-olds. If I'm a light skin, I can hang around dark skin.
Age sister, she's too old for me to be around.
Go ahead.
The second is color or shade.
Come on.
There is intelligence. Size. Sex. Status on plantation.
Status on jobs. Size. Sex. Yes, it's size, sex. Oh, size of plantation. Supposed to status. Yeah, it does say status of plantation. Oh, okay. Read on.
Attitude of owners. Whether the slaves live in the valley, on a hill, east, west, north, south.
You say whether they lived in the ghetto or whether they lived in the
suburbs.
Right. And those are simple things that don't really matter. It shouldn't matter to us. But the white man went into it and said, you know what? Let's separate them by the status of where they live. You live in the hood, let's put them against those who live in the suburbs. You know.
Have fine east, west, north, south.
This is the part right here. Read that real slow.
Have fine hair to it.
Got good hair?
Hey, what kind of book is that?
That's the really, no, I don't know what that is. This is the book. Get off that site. I don't know what that is. That wrong?
Yeah, it's a comma right there.
Yeah, have fine hair.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Read it again.
Have no comma.
Hey, this is the real book, man. Y'all depend on Esau's technology. Read that again.
Have fine hair.
Fine hair. It's fine hair.
Coarse hair.
Coarse hair, read.
Or is tall or short.
Tall or short. William Lynch went into the differential of these things to put us against each other. You know, brothers really don't care about your hair. It's really y'all.
Yeah.
It's really y'all sisters that really care. Oh, she got nappy hair. I can handle it. Girl, look at your hair, girl. Not knowing that in the eyes of God, all of y'all are the same. You understand? If this is still going on in here, y'all still in the wilderness syndrome. Y'all ain't repenting yet. Y'all ain't even in the process of repenting. Y'all just here taking up a seat. Sit down, go ahead.
I shall give you an outline of action, but before that, I shall assure you that this trust is stronger.
Read that again.
I shall assure you that this trust is stronger than trust.
Distrust is stronger than trust. It's easier for me not to trust you than for me to trust you. That's why it's so evident that we don't trust one another. Even though we sit here, we say, shalom, sis. Shalom, brother. But in the back of your head, if I asked you tomorrow, Sunday, not on the Sabbath, to help me, I can't do that. Let me look at my phone. Oh, I need help. No, I can't do that, bro. Skim right over it. Distrust is stronger than trust. We don't.
And envy is stronger than adulteration.
Envy mean? Adoration. What does envy mean? Yeah, look at it. Look at it. Real quick. Come on, help me.
A feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck.
desire to have a quality possession of other desirable attribute belonging to someone else. You envy somebody for something that they have that you don't, not knowing that y'all the same people. It means the same people. I mean, guess what? If you prosper, I prosper.
That's right.
If I prosper, can I prosper? Because I know if I prosper and you need help, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna help you.
That's right.
And the bad thing about this, we actually see it. It's not like we making these things up. Capital gave an order for officers, and officers come eat first. Soldiers, brothers. We'll do the same thing with the sisters, and you'll find when they call up leadership wise, you'll find out regular sisters will come up there first. That's that interview. That's that interview. It happens. We see it. It's not like we lying about this. It actually happened. It ain't the first time we actually spoke about it. It keeps coming back up. That envy is real.
You know what it is? It's I'm better than you.
Right.
Why you gotta eat before me? Who is you? I make $100,000 a year. I got my own house. You living in a mobile home, and you gotta eat before me. Hey, it's the truth. We know. Come here. New York, so let's go. Come on.
I shall give you an outline of action, but before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust.
The white man said distrust is stronger than trust. That's what the white man said. You know.
And envy is stronger than adoration. Respect
envy is stronger than respect. Respect. Envy is stronger than respect. So I'm not gonna respect you. I'm just gonna envy you.
Right.
I'm gonna smile in your face though, but I'm gonna envy you. Why she got that? Hatred. That's what it is. It's hatred. You know, come on.
Or admiration.
Come on.
The black slave, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling.
After this indoctrination, the white man ain't even gotta tell you to envy your sister no more. The white man ain't even gotta tell you to okay, she a light skin, I'm black skin. He ain't gotta tell you to do that no more. Now you're doing it on your own program.
Subconscious.
Right, self-conscious. Now you're doing that without even thinking about it, without even knowing that's what you do. We know.
Become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years.
What's this?
Maybe thousands.
Maybe thousands. What? Give me the part where it says unless a phenomenon occurred. What is that? What is that? A phenomenon.
It's further down.
Further down. There it is. Read that. It's further down. That same.
Yeah, that's it. Scroll up. Yeah, that. We have.
Yeah, read that.
Started.
We have. What is it?
Unless a phenomenon occurs.
No, hold on.
We have created. The sentence above.
We have created. I got it. I'll read it. I'll stop right there, right? Go down, JZL. Go down. Hold on, man. I'm tripping. What is it? You just had it.
I see it. No, scroll down. I see it. Stop right there. It's the first one. It says, we created an orbiting cycle that turns on its own axis forever unless a phenomenon occurs.
Right there. Right, hold on. Right there. Unless a phenomenon occurs, right? What is that phenomenon, brothers? Abraham.
Find out you're an Israelite.
The Bible.
The Bible.
The Bible is that phenomenon. Why are we here? Why are we here? I want y'all to pay attention to what we just read. Unless a phenomenon occurs, why are we here? Saddam.
Because a phenomenon occurred.
That phenomenon has occurred.
That's right.
So, I got a quick question. If you in here and you still showing attributes of still being stuck in the wilderness syndrome, that phenomenon has not occurred for you. You are deceiving yourself. Am I on right? Let me know. Let me know. If you still looking at your sister with envy, you are still following the white man. If you can't even sit next to your sister without being uncomfortable, you are still following the white man. If you can look at a message and close the phone and throw it away, you are still following the white man.
Bring it out.
Because you still in that phenomenon. Willie Lynch say it can happen for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands, unless a phenomenon occurred. So if that phenomenon occurred, that means a cycle should be broken. And if it ain't broken, I mean, up in here, Willie Lynch is still here. In your mind, you are destroyed mentally.
That's what it is. The mind ain't been renewed. We put on the physical, the head wraps, the dresses. We change the way we worship. You know, we don't go to church no more on Sundays. We come on Saturdays. But inside, y'all sisters, y'all jacked up. Half our daggone classes in Miami are because of everything that goes on over there. I've had sisters tell me, we just ain't like y'all brothers.
Nah, that's...
Well, fix it.
For real.
Yeah, we read the same Bible you do.
For real.
We don't have those problems over here. Because we apply what's written.
It's excuses. That's what it is. And you know what they say? But I'm the weaker vessel.
Yeah.
That's what they use. I'm the weaker vessel. You the devil. That's what you is.
Don't say that when Christ show up.
You the devil.
Don't say that when Christ show up.
The same thing we held accountable to, sisters, y'all gonna be held accountable to.
Yep.
And 2/3 got to go.
Got to.
I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be a part of that 2/3. I want to be in the 1/3. Those will. You know what I'm saying? Let me get one more scripture, Cap. One more scripture. Romans 12:9. Romans 12:9. I'm gonna end it on that. No, 2 more scriptures. You got one more?
Yeah, I got the second one.
I have 3 more scriptures today. I want to end on one more scripture. Romans 12:9. Read that.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 9.
Come on.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Stop. Can we look up the word dissimulation, please? Hey man, this class cut is meant for you. If the class cut you, it's meant for you. Ain't gonna point no elbows, ain't gonna point no mics. Let me put Mike down. Somebody say I'm pointing the mic at him. The class is meant for you. It's you. Dissimulation, concealment of one's thoughts, feelings, or character. Oh, come on, Jay-Z. Come on, brother. Pretense, dishonesty, lying, deceit, faking, bluffing, hypocrisy. Read that scripture again, brother.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 9.
Come on.
Let love be without dissimulation.
If you say you love your sister, don't lie about it. Don't be no hypocrite. Oh, I love you, sis. On the Sabbath day. Don't be fake.
You know why? Because this is what we have not realized as a people. Love is an action word.
It's an action.
We're quick to say it, but won't be no action behind it.
Right.
And when it's time to show all the stuff you've been saying to me on the Sabbath, you said you love me on the Sabbath. We play cards and stuff.
Right. Right. We play spades and chess.
Where you love that? So you was just blowing smoke. You was dissimulation.
Read that again. You were faking.
Right.
You were faking.
And a lot of you sisters, you will see it, and you don't want to. Y'all don't want to. I don't want to cause no discord. So you just won't say nothing about it.
Right. I won't say nothing. I didn't want to say nothing, but that's what I saw.
You ain't helping nobody.
You the devil too. You the devil too. Read that again.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 9.
Come on.
Let love be without dissimulation.
If I say I love, that means guess what? I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it. Nobody here tell their wife they love them and beat them. I hope not.
Right.
No sister here tell their husband they love them, but they'll slap them upside the head. So we can't do that either. We say we love each other. That means guess what? If I'm in the turmoil, you gotta help me out. I can't go to Esau. I ain't got no family. I ain't got no means, no transportation. Who's supposed to help me? My sisters, my brothers, my people that I won. We're supposed to help each other. Read.
Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil.
Abhor. God says hate that which is evil. Read.
Cleave to that which is good.
Watch this. Read on.
Be kindly affectionate one to another.
That is like kryptonite. Be kindly affectionate one to another. Some of y'all sisters I never see smile on the Sabbath. And some sisters I have yet to see their teeth. I have yet to see their teeth. And that is just, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Be kindly affectionate. Read on.
With brotherly love.
Watch this.
In honor, preferring
doing what? Preferring. What does that mean? Look that up, please. What does prefer mean? Some must prefer to be home. Some must prefer to work on the Sabbath. Some must prefer to make $20,000 a day. Let's see what God says you're supposed to prefer. Oh, go ahead, also.
Prefer. Like one thing or person better than another or others. Tend to choose.
Favor. Give me some more. Select. Pick.
Number 2.
What did it say? Submit.
There you go.
Submit. Goodness gracious. Read that scripture again.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 10. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love.
Come on.
In honor, preferring one another.
Preferring one another. So my question, can I ask this question to a single sister? I want a single sister to please stand up and answer this question. Well, just answer it. Get the mic and answer. I want to know we on the same page.
Nobody said nothing today on Sisters Day.
No. I want to know we on the same page. Why would we prefer one another? Anybody? Single sisters.
Strong humility, spiritual.
Oh, right here. You see? We see like that. Sisters, no? Right here. What would make, now she got to stand up. What would make us prefer one? Why would we prefer one another?
Shalom, because no one else prefers us.
You hit it right. That was my next scripture.
Yeah.
You hit it right here. Sister over here, you have one? Why would we prefer one? I see your hand raised. Why would we prefer one another?
Because the whole world is against us?
The whole world is against us. We prefer one another because every last one of y'all been through the same exact thing in your lifetime.
Yep.
Every last one of y'all.
All been oppressed.
Why? We all been oppressed. I think I was telling brothers, it's crazy how I never met this brother. I never met Officer Elisha in the world. But in the truth, it's crazy how we got the same story.
Right.
I never met Cap. I never met Liam. I never met nobody here except Sadat. He's the only brother I knew from the world. But me and him got the same story. So if nothing else connects us, our history connects us. That's why I'm able to fight with him. That's why I'm able to lay down my life for these brothers, because we went through the same exact thing and we made it out.
That's right.
In the world, you got Bloods, all the Bloods, all the Crips, all the gangbangers, they got the same story. My daddy left me, my mama on drugs, I can't, I'm being bullied. They all got the same story, so they come together. In wickedness though, but at least they come together. In this truth, we still can't get over that hump of unity. Once we are unified, tell you, this world cannot stop us. Once we unify, we can do anything we want to do. Think about it, we got the Most High God on our side. Who can stand against us? We're not the only God of the whole universe.
That's right.
All the other gods of the nations are idols. Our God is the real living God.
That's right.
But we just cannot seem to come together. Read that again, last part. I'm going to prepare to you guys.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 9.
Come on.
Cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor preferring one another.
Just like Cap always bring out. He always bring us out. You always bring us out. Not one of y'all should not know your sister's name. You always bring us out, but I never see nobody after Sabbath. I never see a sisters group after Sabbath. Never. I never see a sister. Come on, sisters, let's come together and let's just talk. Let's go over the notes how was your week going? What's your name? How many kids do you have? And I'm gonna tell you straight. I'm gonna tell you straight. We say we love each other, but I guarantee none of y'all can name every sister's name. None of y'all can name every sister's kids. How we say we love, I love you so much, What's your son name again?
Damn.
What's your daughter name again? She allergic to what? Oh damn, I just gave her that.
Right.
It's the truth.
Right.
It's the truth. We say we love each other, but we know nothing about each other.
True. Damn.
We only see, how many Sabbaths there in a month? We only see each other 4 times out of a month. Somebody say, oh, I've been in the truth for 6 years, 6 months. No, you've been in the truth for 6 days. No, 24 days. That's it. We gotta prefer one another, man. Because without unity, we'll be walking around this mountain for the next 400 years. And trust me, I'm already tired. I'm 27. I'm tired. And I know y'all tired too. We all tired. You gotta skill camp, but should I just bring the last one out? Give me Zephaniah 2:1. That's the last one.
That's it. I can't come back. Yeah.
Give me Zephaniah 2:1, man.
Come back.
So just in case y'all missed the ball just now, y'all sisters should be getting together after Saturday. And we're gonna see if it happens. If it don't happen, shame on you. That Bishop said, shame on you. Shame on you. Y'all should be getting together after Sabbath and going over things. Go ahead, Zephaniah 2:1.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Hey, you know what? In New York, they do that though. The elder sisters, they form a circle and they discuss things with the sisters. They do that. But I've yet to see that done in Miami. Yeah, wait on us to tell them. Go ahead.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
O what?
O nation.
O what?
O nation.
Light skin.
O nation.
Dark skin.
O nation.
The kingdom.
O nation.
God calls y'all a nation. A nation of people consists of, you got some dark skin, you got some light skin. You got some, heavy set, you got some skinny. It is what it is. But God says y'all a nation. And as a nation, we got to gather together. You got some that's doing good in life. When it comes to money, you got some that just cannot get ahead. That's just the way it's going to be. If everybody here was rich, none of y'all would be here now. Think about it, Cap. If everybody here was rich, nobody would be, everybody thinks, ain't no slave.
Right. I'm good. Right.
But something happened in your lifetime that the Most High allowed to happen to make you realize, like, man, this ain't how it's supposed to be. That phenomenon has presented itself to everybody in here. The Most High showed y'all that. I came in yesterday, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The Most High showed y'all that. So instead of being separate, instead of thinking single-minded, single-light, come together. Y'all Israel, all y'all in Israel. Come together, be unified, prefer one another, and stop loving with dissimulation. Assimilation. How you say it?
Dissimulation.
Huh?
Dissimulation.
Dissimulation. Stop living with dissimulation. You know.
Verse 2.
Verse 1, read it again.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Because all the nations hate y'all. That's why even today they are still sterilizing our women. Even today they are still putting crack and dope. I showed a passage in the book. It's showing how they even put what was it called? They put drugs in our AC units.
Yeah.
Even today. You see?
Yeah.
That's in the book of medical apartheid.
Right.
They even today put in what is it, man? Like anthrax or something in our AC units, in our neighborhoods, in our water. Y'all see Flint, Michigan? Hell, even in northern Florida, they show videos where the water look like dirt. They're still doing it. And you know what they're attacking? They're attacking y'all. Because they don't want y'all to bring forth kings. Saviors.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.